In Srimad Bhagavatam, in Goswamiji's Ramayana, what Vedavyasa and Goswamiji share is that in each period of time, there is a different challenge and a different solution to that challenge. More specifically, in Satya Yuga, in the Golden Age, everyone's minds were concentrated. And so the main methodology to reach enlightenment, to be free, was contemplation. What we've been studying the last 3 evenings, people were able to do naturally. In Satya Yuga, or the Golden Age, the Devatas, those who are selfless, and the Rakshasas, those who are selfish, they lived in different dimensions, in heaven and in hell. As time continued, we shift to Treta Yuga. This is when Bhagavan Rama was present. And that concentrated mind became distracted. During this time, people didn't know how to contemplate. So the primary sadhana to become free was yagas, macro rituals with hundreds of pujaris and thousands of people. During this time, the Devatas and Rakshasas lived in different countries. Bhagavan Rama lived in Bharat and Ravana lived in Lanka. Don't say Sri Lanka, that exists today. Say Lanka. Like if I say that, where do Rakshasas live? In Sri Lanka. How are they going to feel about that then? In Lanka. Sri Lanka is a beautiful country. As atrophy continued, we go to Dwapar Yuga when Bhagavan Krishna was present. And the mind became more distracted. During this time, people couldn't engage in contemplation nor in these macro rituals. So the primary means for enlightenment was puja, a micro ritual, what we do at our home. And during this time, the Devatas and Rakshasas lived in not in different dimensions or different countries, but in the same family. You see Kamsa and his sister Devaki. He's such a fearful person. She's the most fearless person. She gave birth to 8 kids on the presumption that each one of them was going to be killed. It's a lot of fearlessness, no? Devatas and Rakshasas. And now our favorite, Kali Yuga. The dark age where Bhagavan Rama's not present, Bhagavan Krishna's not present, we are present. Where the mind is most distracted. During this time, we don't know how to contemplate. We don't know about yagas. We don't know about puja. During this time, the primary means for freedom, for sadhana, is japa. Fast. You can do this while you're driving, while you're sitting. We call out to Bhagavan saying, I can't engage in contemplation, yaga, puja. During this time, the Rakshasas and Devatas don't live in different dimensions or different countries or different families. Where do they live? Same person. Sometimes we are so selfless and sometimes so selfish in the same personality. Now you may not remember those technicalities, so I'm going to simplify. coming to this sadhana of japa, when you start chanting Om Namah Shivaya or Tattvamasi, you raise the quality of thoughts. Once the quality of thoughts is raised, what happens? You reduce the quantity of thoughts. Once the quantity of thoughts is reduced, you redirect the flow of thoughts. And when you redirect that flow of thoughts, you start to feel that divinity. You call out to Bhagavan Rama, but you start to feel Rama not out there, but Rama within. So you have all of these sadhanas. We have japa. And homing in on this even more, what happens with these sadhanas, what happens with japa, the same transformation happens through our Vedanta and Ramayana course. When you hear the insights of Ramayana, aren't we raising the quality of our thoughts? Instead of thinking about football, you're thinking about Bhagavan Rama, correct? And when you have these happy thoughts, you don't need to have as many thoughts. You become more quiet. A reduction in the quantity of thoughts. And we're not just studying Ramayana, we're studying the Vedanta in Ramayana. How does this relate to me? So where's the flow of thoughts then? To my nature. So if you want to know what's the best way to be free, Vedanta and Ramayana. A couple of weeks ago, when we had our class, we were studying the relationship between Sutikshna and Agastya. Both are rishis. And Rishi Agastya, who's the guru, and Rishi Sutikshna, who's the shishya, Rishi Agastya is so grateful for the sincerity of Rishi Sutikshna, he says, I don't want dakshina. But Rishi Sutikshna is so grateful for Rishi Agastya, he says, I have to give you dakshina. And this dialogue's going on. And so Rishi Agastya gets annoyed. You know, like when I move out of the way, so you move towards me, then you move out of the way, and you just go back and forth, and it becomes annoying, so you push the person and just walk away. You don't do that. So Rishi Agastya tells Rishi Sutikshna, my dakshina is I want you to bring Bhagavan Rama to me. That was his call for dakshina. And the beauty of this call is that Rishi Agastya knows that Rishi Sutikshna can bring Bhagavan Rama because he has the knowledge to bring Bhagavan Rama. So this is where we completed our katha from a couple of weeks ago, and now we continue. This morning, we're only going to study one doha, one chopai, and the reason for that is because today we get to study Sri Rama Gita. And I think all of you are most fortunate that out of all of the times that you're going to listen to Vedanta and Ramayana, you got to listen to Sri Rama Gita. This is one of the most powerful portions of this huge text that I'm teaching. There's just 2 essential paragraphs that we get to elaborate on. I'm on the 14th section of Chaupais in Aranyakanda, and I'm reading the 4th Chaupai, the 2nd line. This is what Sri Lakshmana says to Bhagavan Rama. Kahuhu jnana viraga ura maya. Sri Lakshmana is asking Bhagavan Rama, what is jnana? What is vairagya? What is maya? How many questions so far? 3. Note these questions because I'll give you answers. Bhagavan Rama will give you answers accordingly. Kahuhu so bhagati karahu jehi daya. Tell me what bhakti is. This bhakti, please be compassionate with me. Elaborate on this. And then later on he adds one more question. Who is Ishvara and Jiva? We'll simplify that as, who is Ishvara? What was question number 1? What is jnana? Number 2, vairagya. Number 3, maya. Number 4, bhakti. Number 5, Ishvara. If you ask who Ishvara is, Jiva is already included in that. 5 questions. Sri Lakshmana is asking Bhagavan Rama. Nice brother dialogue, no? What do brothers usually talk about? And now you see what real brothers should talk about. When Bhagwan Rama, Sri Lakshmana, and Mother Sita arrive at Rishi Agastya's ashram, there's so much love that is exchanged. When people live a God-oriented life, then when they meet someone else who's God-oriented, there's a lot of love that is exchanged. And Bhagwan Rama asks Rishi Agastya, he says, please direct me to the place where I can help you, where I can help the other sadhus in this jungle the most. When we meet people, we ask them, how are you? We say Hari Om, and then they say, good, I'm fine, how are you? Rare is there a person who says, how can I help you? Isn't it? Here Bhagwan Rama says, how can I help you? And it's not even, may I help you? It's please tell me in which way I can help you. Be specific about that. And Rishi Agastya says, can you go from Chitrakuta to the Dandaka Aranya, and specifically go to Panchavati? Because in Panchavati there's a curse there. A curse by Shukracharya, and that curse essentially is drawing negativity there, drawing demons there. We will find later in this kanda, we'll be introduced to people like Kara, Dusha, and our dear, dear, dear Shurpanakha. You know what Shurpanakha means? One who has nails that are like a sieve. A sieve is where you filter out rocks from dal or rice. So her nails are like that. Now today people have nails like that. Nails like that too, isn't it? So all of these people are gathered in this Panchavati area. So immediately, there's no more dialogue with Rishi Agastya. Bhagwan Rama says, please tell me how I can help you. Rishi Agastya says, this is how you can help me. And they leave. No, let's hang out for a while. We should rest and so on. And on the way to Panchavati, who do they meet? Gidi Raja. Who's Gidi Raja? Jatayu. Interesting, they meet Jatayu, correct? He'll come back later in this kanda. So Bhagwan Rama and Jatayu, they become friends on the way to Panchavati. Small incident here. We never know who can help us. We tend to become quite impatient with people who can't help us, but we just don't know who can help us. If Jatayu didn't slow down Ravana, Mother Sita would never have had a chance to take off her jewelry. Bhagwan Rama wouldn't have known where to go. He would have gone to the Himalayas instead of Lanka. But keep an open mind, keep an open heart to all. Humans, animals, plants, stones. And then they arrive in Panchavati. And Bhagwan Rama, Mother Sita, and Sri Lakshmana, they live near the Godavari. They live near a river. You'll find that smart people live near bodies of water. That's why all of our centers near the Great Lakes, we already knew where we should live. Now you see people who are living in the desert, like in the Middle East. Those places are going to be too hot to live in. The people who are near the oceans, those places are going to go away soon too. But the Midwest, all of the areas around the Great Lakes, Canada specifically, all of these places are going to become so valuable, like Panchavati, the Godavari River. And they're just enjoying there. Husband and wife, brothers. And enjoying here doesn't mean wasting time. It doesn't mean searching on YouTube because I have nothing to do, watching Bollywood movies. They're engaged in satsang. Sri Lakshmana knows his brother is so great. Why ask him about where this fruit grows? What is the best way to sleep? He asks him, what is jnana? What is vairagya? What is maya? What is bhakti? What is Ishvara? And Sri Lakshmana ends these questions by saying, because if you tell me this, I know confusion and fear and sadness will go away. What is the point in knowing all of this? So I'm not confused. Wherever there's moha, there's bhaya. I'm scared then. And whenever I'm scared, I become sad. If you think of the amusement parks that we have all over the place, How many of you like going on roller coasters? How long is the longest lasting roller coaster that you've been on? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? You go on those roller coasters because you know that ride will end, correct? If you don't know if that roller coaster is going to end, are you going to go on that roller coaster? See, we think fear is fun. We only like Halloween because it's one day. If Halloween was every day, it wouldn't be fun. It would be scary. Fear, if not checked, leads to shoka or sadness. Now, Sri Lakshmana is asking, help me go past confusion, fear, and sorrow. Is Sri Lakshmana confused? Who is he asking this question for? For us. Don't think this is a katha only, a story. Sri Lakshmana is not confused. He knows who his father and mother are. He's asking for us. Don't think of this as a story. This is not Harry Potter. This is not Lord of the Rings. This is our path. Just like Srimad Bhagavad Gita. How all of a sudden did Prince Arjuna become afraid? When they came out of incognito, he single-handedly defeated all of the Kauravas. They retreated. Now he has way more people with him. Then how did he become afraid all of a sudden? Because Bhagavan put that fear in him, so Bhagavan can teach us. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, what's happened is incidental. The question is, what is happening presently? Bhagavan is most happy with this question, so he starts answering. And he starts answering this question by telling Prince Arjuna to listen carefully. And he does that with a very serious look like this. For all of you, I said, what is the sadhana for Shravana? What is the sadhana for Shravana? Take notes. Take notes is a form of listening carefully. But listening carefully doesn't just mean, I put my hands like this and lean forward. Listening carefully means with faith. Where is this dialogue happening? I used the word twice so far. Panchavati. This tree, this Panchavati, has a certain type of tree, a tree that is most strong. This tree symbolizes faith. That if one is listening carefully, you should have 5 types of faith. Okay, ready? This is even before the question is answered. He's saying, listen carefully. To know these answers, you need to have 5 types of faith. Faith number 1, faith in Brahman. You have to have faith that existence is, that awareness is, that joy is. Faith number 2, faith in the Shastra. Faith that the word of Brahman is the scriptures. That's the second tree. Pancha means 5. These 5 trees, these 5 faiths. 5 questions also. Faith number 3 is to have faith in the Sadguru. The Sadguru is the one who's going to use the Shastra to take us to Brahman. To have faith in the Sadguru. Number 4 is to have faith in Atma. Atma means have faith in yourself. If you want to listen carefully, you have to believe that you can understand, isn't it? How many of you are going to get enlightened in this lifetime? Just the girls, not the boys. You have to have faith that you can be enlightened. And the last faith, this is faith number 5, is faith in sadhana. Faith in sadhana, that there is a way for me to go from being limited to limitless. If you go to a physician and they say that your health is not very good, what's your next question? So what do I do about it? What if the meeting just ends there? Your health is not good. See ya. Right? What was the point of going? I would rather know that I'm okay. Sadhana, that I can grow from conditional happiness to unconditional happiness. So looking at me, first faith, Brahman, loud. Number 2, Shastra. 3, Sadguru. 4, Atma doesn't mean absolute Atman. It means who I think I am today. And number 5, Sadhana. Good? Now for all of our Atma Bodha students, our Bhagavad Gita students, these 5 faiths sound very similar to the Kripas, no? 4 types of Kripa. The highest Kripa or grace is called Ishvara Kripa. How is the grace of God initiated? Shastra Kripa, the grace of the scriptures. How is that initiated? Acharya Kripa, the grace of your guide. How is Acharya Kripa initiated? Swakripa, by my own self-effort. See the consistency of those teachings. Listen carefully, Prince Arjuna. So he begins answering. These 5 questions, what was the first question that was asked? What is knowledge? What is the first question that is answered? Bhagavan answers Maya first. He first teaches us what we're not, and then teaches us what we are. It's like a multiple choice question. I know it's not this answer. So now you start working with answers it could be. So he answers, what is Maya? Here's what Maya is. And the English translation here, it's so funny what is said. Bhagavan says, I'm going to answer your question in a nutshell. In such a condensed way. I'm going to try to give you 3 answers for each question, according to Goswamiji. What is Maya? Maya is I and mine, you and yours. First answer to what Maya is. What is one word that we use the most? I, isn't it? I is Maya. And as soon as you say I, what else are you going to use? Like I just said it, you, isn't it? That sense of separation is Maya. Are there waves? Are there oceans? What is there? Water. There are no waves. There are no oceans. There is only water. If there's the Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Ocean, then there's I and you. But if there's water, there's no I or you. So first expression of Maya, I and mine, you and yours. That's a form of bullying, actually. It's called othering. Us and them. That's why whenever you make teams, you should never have team captains. Because what happens? Us and them. Those last people who get picked, how do they feel? So you randomly go by the color of your clothing, not the color of your skin, color of your clothing, or what birth month you're in, and so on and so forth. The second answer to what is Maya, Maya is that which is perceived. All that you perceive is Maya. All that the body, mind, intellect can touch is Maya. So let's start. My sweater, Maya or not? Yes? Sheila says big time. It's the worst sweater that she's ever seen. She keeps telling me that. That's why I like it more, I think. I'm just going to keep wearing it and wearing it. My laptop, Maya or not? Definitely. Apple has more money than America does. The software in my laptop, Maya? You may not be able to touch it with your hand, but the mind can still think about it, correct? All that is perceived is Maya. What can't you perceive? What can you not perceive? Awareness. You can't manipulate awareness. Awareness allows you to manipulate. So that slowly is teaching us if all of this is Maya, there has to be one who knows that Maya, correct? If we turn all the lights off and I say, are you there? What are you going to say? Turn the lights on, then I'll know. You don't need light to know if you're there. Your nature is awareness. Maya is that which is perceived. Number 3, this is very important to know. There's 2 types of Maya. There's avidya Maya and then there's vidya Maya. Okay? Avidya Maya and vidya Maya. Avidya Maya keeps you stuck. And vidya Maya makes you free. This is a deep teaching. Is the Shastra Maya or not? Is Srimad Bhagavad Gita Maya or not? It also is Maya. But what kind of Maya? Does it make you more ignorant or more realized? It's called Vidya Maya. When Mother Sita, and we'll see this later on, when Mother Sita looks towards that golden deer, her bhakti, she represents bhakti, the mind, is towards avidya. And what happens? Destruction. When Mother Sita is looking in front of her towards Bhagavan Rama or joy, there's no destruction, there's only joy then. So avidya maya, vidya maya. Arjuna asks, what is Maya? Here are the three answers. Next, now Bhagavan goes to Jnana. What is knowledge? And Bhagavan's first answer to what is knowledge, knowledge is that which makes one egoless. Egoless. So when you study organic chemistry, do they address the ego in organic chemistry? When you have a company that's part of the Fortune 500, do they say be egoless? Don't they say go tell the whole world that you're on this list now? The first answer to what is knowledge? Amani. That which is slowly dismantling the ego. This is a revolutionary teaching because I feel everything we learn in our school system is not knowledge then, it's just information. Here, you get knowledge. Outside of here, even though this is a school, we get information. We have to deepen our definitions and understandings of these words so we can reach that. People love Taylor Swift, correct? People love, what's that red velvet cake, right? Red velvet, is that a flavor? People love red velvet cake. And then people love their mothers. So Taylor Swift, a cake, and my mother on the same dimension. See how casual we are with the word love? So then when we keep love like this, we don't really bring the best out of us. But here, Bhagavan is being very specific about these answers. His second response to what is jnana, jnana is oneness. Oneness. So knowledge is that which makes you feel one with the next person. What was Maya? I and you. So then what is jnana? That which makes us, instead of focusing on me, focus on we. Oneness. This oneness comes when we have less confusion, less fear, less sorrow. A sad person always feels very isolated. A fearful person is always afraid of someone else. A confused person doesn't even know who they are. But in oneness, that all goes away. Jnana is that which is without ego. So that means my body, which is the source of my ego, when I get knowledge, I should realize I'm more than this body. Jnana is that which is oneness, less confusion, less fear, less sorrow. And the last response is, jnana comes from yoga. What does yoga mean? Please get it right. Please get it right. First, tell me what yoga is not. Yoga is not shavasana. And it's not yoga. You don't have to wear special clothes for yoga. Yoga is self-development. Self-development. So how does jnana become real? When we're constantly bettering ourselves. Without bettering yourself, you can't feel knowledge. So 3 answers to jnana. Next we go to a very scary word for all of us. Vairagya. What does vairagya mean? Dispassion for what? For getting. But it's a passion for giving. Dispassion towards getting. What do I get? But it is a passion for giving. The best defense is a Strong offense. Don't let the puck come into the defensive area because you're always giving. Keep that puck over there. Keep the ball over there. Here's what Bhagavan says, okay? I just define the word for us. Vairagya means someone who's not living for pleasure, possession, or position. Pleasure, possession, position. These are the lower P's. Vairagya is I'm not living for that. They may be there, they may not be there, it doesn't matter. And if they're not living for that, what are they living for? Peace. Only peace can bring peace, not pleasure. So not living for the lower P's. The second answer to what Vairagya is someone who's not living for the gunas. The gunas are ropes. They're not living in a way that this is who I am and I can't change. They're constantly trying to better themselves. If I'm a lazy person, I become aggressive. If I'm aggressive, I become quiet. I've shared a few times with all of you these unique alarm clocks that I've heard about. One alarm clock is on legs. So when the alarm goes off, that alarm clock actually goes off your table and runs around your room. And you can only shut it off by catching it and turning it off. So how do you get rid of tamas? You become rajasic, aggressive. You're so angry at that point that you can't go back to sleep. Another alarm clock I saw it's actually built with different pieces, like a puzzle. So when the alarm clock goes off, that puzzle blows up, and you have to put the pieces back together before you can shut that alarm clock off. So if there's a piece under your bed, you're struggling to get it till you can finally shut it off. From tamas to rajas. Now the worst alarm clock I heard about it's actually like an oven, and before you go to sleep, you put raw bacon in there. And then as you get up, it warms up that bacon, so the smell of bacon wakes you up. I feel that's like going from tamas into deeper tamas. Someone who's a vairagi is not ready to give in to limitations. And number 3, vairagya comes from virtues. The more virtuous you become, the more independent you become. This comes from virtues. Goswamiji adds a detail here. Remember those lower P's, pleasure, possession, peace? A vairagi treats them like a blade of grass. I often ask people, what's the greatest achievement you've ever experienced in your life? I went to this school. I've traveled to these places. I own this much. He says all of that's like a blade of grass. Think. When Mother Sita speaks to Ravana, before she speaks to him, she lifts that blade of grass up and says, this blade of grass is deserving of my sight more than you are. Because only peace has any worth. And Puja Swami Tejramananda shared about Vairagya. He says you can feel Vairagya when you have less likes and dislikes. Less likes and dislikes. So all of the foodies in this room, start working on Vairagya. Whatever food comes. No likes or dislikes. As I'm thinking about my Bhiksha that's coming up. That's all for now. There's more. There's lots on Ishvara and Bhakti. I'll share more in our next class. But I'll share 5 more minutes of details with all of you that you won't know by study. Okay. Sri Rama Gita is not found in Valmikiji's Ramayana. Is not in Valmikiji's Ramayana. Now think why. When Valmikiji documented Ramayana, what was the purpose of his Ramayana? Dharma. What is the purpose of Goswamiji's Ramayana? Bhakti. So Valmikiji doesn't touch on jnana. Sri Rama Gita is really jnana based. He doesn't touch on it. He wants people to focus on dharma. But Goswamiji, his focus is bhakti. How do you get to bhakti? Through jnana. The more you know about God, the more you come to love God. So not found in Valmikiji's Ramayana. This Sri Rama Gita is found in Adhyatma Ramayana. Adhyatma Ramayana is written by Veda Vyasa. My son's name is Vyasa, not Veda Vyasa. I hope he becomes Veda Vyasa, but it's not. Veda Vyasa put Sri Rama Gita not in Aranyakanda, but he puts this in Uttarakanda. And you know when this happens? After Sri Lakshmana takes Mother Sita to the forest. And before he does, Sri Rama tells Sri Lakshmana, you are not to ask any questions. Because you, essentially in that statement, he's saying you just will not see the picture that I can see. So Sri Lakshmana goes and drops Mother Sita off in the forest, and he comes back and he's so sad. And he can't bear this sadness anymore. So he tells Bhagavan Rama, help me get rid of confusion, fear, and sadness. See how it's referenced here? Help me to transcend that. And then Bhagavan Rama, because he's so compassionate, he says, sit down, and he teaches him all of these points. He's saying that there's avidya Sita and there's vidya Sita, essentially. Avidya Sita got kidnapped, as an example. Vidya Sita is still with me. That's why his name is Srinivasa, correct? That she lives in him. So if you are connecting these dots, Goswamiji, when he teaches this Ramayana, why it's so important? Because it's very much in line with Vyasa. Vyasa's Adhyatma Ramayana, Vyasa's Bhagavatam. Though Goswamiji is an incarnation of Valmikiji, but there's just a different perspective that's taken with this Ramayana. And one more point for all of you. What does Sri Lakshmana symbolize? Dharma. What does Bhagavan Rama symbolize? Jnana. And what does Mother Sita symbolize? Bhakti. You'll find in this skanda, we began this skanda with Dharma, where Bhagavan Rama is looking to Atri Rishi about the dharma of going to the forest. Mother Sita is given the dharma of being a spouse. When one is responsible, dharmic, then what comes to one? Jnana. Now that portion is happening, the middle portion. And how will this skanda end? With the Navada Bhakti. Srimati Shabri will be introduced later on in the chapter also. How with jnana, this should naturally evolve to bhakti. I'm sharing these details with all of us because sometimes we don't get to see the full picture. And when we see the full picture, as the dots become more connected, this becomes more real to us. Okay? Oh.